As y'all know, the topic of the weekend and probably for the remainder of the week will be Michael Parsons asking or more demanding for a request for a trade from the Dallas Cowboy from his owner Jerry and Stephen Jones. And on today's episode on NFL Central, your boy Stevo Speeds is going to talk about what I feel will be the best trade destinations, not only for Micah Parsons, but for the Dallas Cowboys as well. It's your boy at NFL Central. We finna get straight into it, but guess what? Gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NFL Central. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So, as y'all seen the thumbnail in the title and in the intro, we're gonna be talking about what I feel will be the best trade destinations for Michael Parsons. Now, for those who don't know, who been living under a rock, on yesterday, Michael Parsons was writing his notes. He made a formal statement to not only the world, but to his own organization, the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones and the rest, that he would like to get the fuck on. Why? He listed from things from questioning of leadership, questioning um questioning his injury history. He also, in so many words, say he tried to get snake when with Jerry Jones was trying to have a conversation about the money without his agent being present. So over the multitude of years, the multitude of all seasons, press conferences, interviews, it all boiled over. It came to a point now to the man that asked for a trade, and I can't say I blame him. He's been through a lot when it comes to this team, and like we said on yesterday's episode, it's not like this team and this organization is a terrible organization to find talent. They always find the talent. They're always kind of in the realms of being one of the best teams in the end of the season, but they can never win a big game, or they can never get to where they're trying to be on a consistent level because of little things ahead that's starting atop with Steven and Jerry Jones. And it just coming to a point where now we know we've had past things with Ezekiel Elliott, CD Lamb, Dak Prescott twice. Like, we know the contract history. They wait too long. They wait for people to constantly reset the market in their respective positions in all types of things. And they always wait to the end point where they eventually just got to give them all the money that they've been asking for. And there's so many times where they could save money. For this is for this case especially, there's been multiple times where, and with not only Micah but other sources as well, said that the deal could have been done. It could have been done last year. It could have done in the middle of last year, and you could have knocked down millions of dollars on top of that. But you didn't let Miles Gary get paid. You didn't let TJ get paid. You didn't let Buddy out in Las Vegas to get paid. So at the end of the day, this is your fault. And it's constantly this is your history. You let everybody reset the market to the point where either, well, the history has shown that you just end up giving them the top dollar. You did it for Ezekiel Elliott, you did it for Dak, and you did it for CD. Well, I don't know why you having such a hard time giving the money to somebody that's going into his prime, only 26 years old, easily a top 5 rusher at his position, and it's going into, once again, going into his prime. So the fact that we're having problems getting to the number, and according to to Michael Parsons and his people, it's been no communication between the Dallas Cowboys and the Parsons people for months. So I think that kind of says all we need to say. But let's get straight into it with the topic. What do I feel are some of the best destinations y'all can get to? If you look on the thumbnail, you kind of got some hints with. So let's go straight to it with my first one. Now, my first pick is going to be We kind of mentioned it. Well, we didn't kind of. We did mention it in the last one. The New England Patriots. Now, the reason why we bring in, I'm gonna just speed it up because I'm pretty sure most of y'all seen it. They just got Milton. They just got Henry Landry. They also got some nice young pieces like Christian Gonzalez at the corner, and they drafted well. So like the defense is on the up and up. D line just got better, and with the new addition of head coach, when it comes down to it, they look like they brand locked and loaded and they ready to make a stretch. Now, I'm not finna sit here and act like New England right now as it stands is world beaters, but they ain't nobody you can play with. That defense gonna be tough. I don't care what nobody say. At the end of the day, one thing I know, Mike Brable know how to coach a defense, and he showed it in his times in Tennessee. So on top of that, you let him get somebody like a fucking Micah Parsons to add on to that. You already got a champion DN with Milton alongside with the other people I just mentioned, and then you got your Drake Mays and your other people on offense on the up and up running backs and such. I think the New Orleans, as well as, if I'm not mistaken, they has the highest salary cap cap at 59 million, and active their active cap spending is at 241 million dollars. Why is this important? Because yeah, it has to be a trade involved, but you still got to think about what's the whole problem with this whole situation. Money, the contract. So at the end of the day, what is Micah seeking? Micah is going to seek 40, 42, 43 million dollars a year. So that's also going to go into why I'm picking the Patriots as in one of my top teams and destinations to go to, because not only is it a good fit for them, good coaching, good defensive scheme for them, they could pay for it as well. They could afford them, and that's a big aspect of what we're gonna be talking about today with these teams, because a lot of people gonna be throwing out some of their favorite teams, but y'all not thinking about can y'all afford them. Now, my next team is going to be the guy that's in the back, kind of looking over his shoulder, Dan Campbell and the Lions. Now, we all know the Lions was already not the defense. The defense of the Lions was already not their strongest suit, and at the end of the day, they had a lot of injuries towards the end of the year. They had especially they had a lot of injuries in the beginning with losing Aiden Hutchinson as well, but also knowing even when Aiden coming up and rise before his injury, and you seeing what he came with, you always knew that he needed somebody on that other side to take some pressure off him. And Micah could be a perfect guy to put on the opposite side of Aiden. They're a little bit different. Everybody know compared to their size wise, a big difference. Aiden's 6'7", huge power, finesse, but Micah's 6'3", pure finesse, got some power to him, but it's a good yin and yang on bitch with on each side. So them going, as well as them being second in cap space with 48 million and 281 active captain spending money. So Lions, not only does it work with Dan Campbell defensive scheme, I mean not Dan Campbell's defensive scheme, but their scheme over there. Well, I don't know. I gotta see what their new scheme is now because they got a new coach. But when it comes down to money needs, I think the Lions in Detroit is a good destination for him to go to. Now, my third choice, I think a lot it's gonna catch people off guard a little bit, but I think Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers would be a nice place for them to go. Now, Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, they also are what, 31 million. So they're still in the top 10 when it comes to cap, and they have 225 active money, cap money to spend. So that's another place that can also afford them. But not only that, you still got a lot of players that's still there that you can had there. Khalil Mack. Is Joey Bosa still there, if I'm not mistaken. No, or did he go with his cut? No, he's still there. Joey Bosa's still there. But I think this is why it's such a big deal. We all know Joey Bosa is a very talented player, but the man cannot stay healthy. The man cannot stay healthy. And at the end of the day, Micah is way more healthier than Joey Bosa will ever be. So I think that's just somebody they could come in and not only still keep them around and still use them, but when you have somebody like Micah Parsons coming in, you're able to still keep a Joey. That's when you can become dangerous because you can pick your spots of when you where and when and spots you want to use Joey at it. So especially and then, like I said, you still got Khalil Mack there. I still feel like the Chargers is a good spot. Now, my final choice, I feel like that a team that could consider it. I didn't want to go. I wanted to kind of like go kind of out there with it. I don't think nobody was thinking about this. I'm going to say the New York Jets. The reason I'm going to say the New York Jets, they fall into the category with the top. They're in the top 10 when it comes to base salary cap with active and base salary cap, and so they got the money to. They got the. All these teams have some draft picks, of course, because you're gonna have to have some draft picks to acquire him for the trade. But most importantly, they are all these teams, including the Jets, have the money to afford the contract because I think it's gonna be a sign and trade. I don't think nobody's is really going to sit there and trade for somebody this big and not sign them in the process. So, yeah, I think the Jets is somebody they could do. Now the Jets defense alone, yeah, they got both of the Williams brothers, who's more of the tenured of the defense. But outside of that, the defense has gotten pretty young, especially with C.J. Mosley leaving and a couple other players on the line leaving and going other places. So with the line and the defense being a little young, and I think the Jets would be a nice little place for him to go. You got Aaron Glenn stepping up as the head coach there. We seen what he turned in that Detroit defense into with them not really having the top talent, I would say, in terms of defense. So with somebody like both the Williams brothers, and then you had him Micah to the process as well as some other players like Sauce Gardner's and others on the team. I think Jets will be a very nice place for Micah to go with. Now I'm sure a bevy of y'all got other places that y'all want to go, but that's what the comment section is for. I want y'all to drop it down in the comments. Let me know what y'all feel is the best locations and destinations for not only Micah, but the even though I see I mentioned it, like I said, how I feel like not only does this benefit Michael, but it benefits the Cowboys as well. Even though I feel like a lot of people gonna be like, "Fuck the Cowboys," they shouldn't have to get it. But at the end of the day, it's business. They're gonna want to get some type of benefit from it because at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a blow if they do. Let's say this trade does happen, regardless of where he goes to, it's still gonna be a blow to this team because you're kind of you're kind of signaling the retool of it, almost like a rebrand of the defense because he's a part of that core. He's only 26 years old, and anybody I can honestly say I don't know there's anybody in the next coming years that you can draft that's gonna be better than Micah in the next coming years. That's all. That's my point. So they're gonna try to get something out of it if they do trade. So that's why I'm looking at it from both perspective. But thank y'all for another episode of NFL Central. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Like I just said, most importantly, drop y'all comments. Tell me what you feel is the best location for Micah and for the Cowboys. This has been another episode of NFL Central. This your boy Stevo Speed. And I'll check y'all with another video. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break